And I know your kids will be making you all mothers, lovely mothers, good cooks. Every mother, every lady doctor in this group would have tried something new. Huh? So this is a lady special today, and I'm going to talk about a quick look upon the gynecological cases. Of course, there are so many gynecological cases. We will not be able to talk about all of those things in this short frame of time. So I have restricted myself to certain bleeding disorders. And my way of lecture will not be like I'm basically a clinician. I'm not an academician. So yesterday you might have heard the very learned session by Dr. Kamlesh Mehta and Pankaj Lakani from Parul University, a very brilliant indeed with PPT presentations and all that, a very pakka presentation it was, very nice, and lot of theories in that, the theoretical part. So you had an ample, full stomach theoretical session yesterday. So I don't want to repeat any of the theories today. It is only practical, only very useful tips in your daily clinical practice. What you are seeing from the patients are teaching you here. So with the look of the patient, with the glance of the patient, the physician should be able to identify what is the kind of patient or what is the kind of the thing that you are dealing with. So I am sure, although this would be a very amateur presentation, at the end of the day, you will, every one of you who are listening to my session today, my small lecture today, would be able to identify the person sitting in front of you, whether it is a patient in your clinic or outside. By seeing them walking on the road or in the next door apartment, you will be able to find out what kind of a person he is. Of course, now today I'm going to, first of all, before I start with my session, sorry, I should tell my, I should what I should give my gratitude towards Dr. Vijay Krishna, who has invited me to present this session today, and Dr. Manohar, who is already there in the panel, and then Dr. Sri Harsha, who is the technical assistant today. Thank you all, and to my guru, Dr. Vijay Krishna. So coming to the topic per se, the gynecological cases, the uterine bleeding cases I have selected today. Uterine bleeding can be due to a number of causes. So according to the cause, the way of the medicine also can change. So what are all the usual causes for uterine bleeding? It can be a DUB, a dysfunctional uterine bleeding, or it can be uterine bleeding due to fibroids, or it can be an endometriosis, or it can be due to any other condition which can increase the pelvic congestion. For example, an ovarian cyst. So the method of prescription for all these things, especially in predictive homeopathy, is we have to give a GCS, that means a genetic constitutional simillimum. That means generally for non-predictive homeopaths, we usually say it as constitutional medicine. We have been using the term constitutional medicine from the beginning, from the college. Am I audible to all? I hope so.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Thank you, doctors. So why I am saying like for all these bleeding disorders, we have to select a genetic constitutional simillimum. Why not an acute remedy or why not a phenotypical remedy? Vijayakar sir has done a lot of research work in his clinics from his private practice, his enormous private practice and the camps, and he has found out a strategy to treat uh, first to fifth layer diseases which contain the element SORA in that, and then the sixth and the seventh layer diseases which are the autoimmune and the genetic disorders where the element of SORA is absent. So in those sixth layer and seventh layer disorders, you have to give phenotype, a medicine, a phenotypical medicine in order to effect a cure. Rather, if you take a genotype there, you will be assisting the disease to maybe kill the patient, or the disease will be going faster in the degenerative phase so that the patient can die anytime. So it will be like a time bomb if you give the GCS to the sixth and the seventh layer diseases. So in the sixth and seventh layer, if it is an autoimmune disease, we generally pick up two rubrics. One rubric would be a delusion level rubric of the patient, and the second one will be the pathological rubric, which should be the grassroots level pathological rubric. If you are going to treat a gangrene, you cannot take the rubric as gangrene itself. In all the repertories, the rubric gangrene is available. Still, we have, if you want to treat the man in the disease and not the disease in the man. So we should not take the rubric gangrene. Instead, you will have to take necrosis or blood vessel degeneration or enough blood supply is not there and then the tissue death, something like that. No, the tissue level rubric you have to take. So that is the autoimmune diseases. Coming to the genetic disorders, there if it is a child or the genetic disorder patient, you will have to hunt for the delusion level rubric from the mother's history plus the pathology what you see in the child or you see in the patient. So these are the 6th and 7th layer diseases. We are not going to deal with any of those complicated cases now. We are dealing with the 4th level or the 5th level diseases. That is either a ovarian cyst or a uterine fibroid or an endometriotic disease or a DUB, which can cause profuse uterine bleeding with enormous dysmenorrhea, with severe dysmenorrhea, where the patient can. Video is not very clear or audio is not clear, doctor? That is fine. That's fine. I shall continue. So, so where the bleeding will be very heavy. So we are going to deal with the 4th layer or the 5th layer diseases where we are justified in giving the genetic constitutional simillimum. So now how to approach, how to come to the genetic constitutional simillimum. Every doctor would have his own style of getting into the point, getting into the simillimum. So certain doctors will be collecting the symptoms, but what symptoms will you take? There can be psoric symptoms, there can be psychotic symptoms, and there can be very few syphilitic symptoms. If you want to tackle the psychotic disease, you would have to pick up a few syphilitic points. I am not able to hear anything, Dr. Guru Kiran.
It's madam. You continue, madam. No problem.
Okay. All right. So, yes. So, so the genotype, the genetic constitutional simillimum. So in order to find out that, either we will take many symptoms. So if you want to tackle a psychotic disease in front of you, like a fibroid or an ovarian cyst, you would have to collect the syphilitic rubrics plus the pathology. Like if it is ovarian cyst, you can take from the generals, cystic. Not only from the chapter female genitalia, you can even take from the generals. We are only interested in whether this particular medicine is able to produce cyst in the provers. That's how we match the homeopathic remedies. It need not be from the particular organ itself. Some other doctors would be having immense knowledge upon Materia Medica, so that they will be, just by a glance of the patient itself, they will be able to categorize the patient into a plant remedy or an animal remedy or a mineral remedy or a metallic remedy. I know there are many efficient doctors in this group, but still, let me tell you, for maybe the beginners would be there, junior doctors would be there, and students also can be there. So it will be an eye opener for them, like how to catch the patient in front of you. It is the very easiest method. These are the tips with which you can simply give the medicine. Very effective medicines they are. Like to categorize the patient so that the number of selection would be much lesser for you, the beginners. So if it is a plant remedy, it will be very, very sensitive. It will be weeping and it will be a touch me not and all that. And if it is an animal remedy, it will be very jealous and it will be very loquacious and vivacious, and from its expressions, lot of energized expressions will be there upon the animal remedy. And with a peculiar walk and with a peculiar appearance, you will be able to find out that this is an animal remedy. And they will be more lustful also. I shall come to that. And if it is a mineral remedy, they will be very dry. There is no expression, like the natrums, the carbons, the ammoniums, or the magnesiums. Absolutely, they will be very monotonous, and there will be no expressions at all. And you will not be able to collect many symptoms also from them. Whatever you ask, they will be very dryly saying yes or no. So that is about the minerals. And coming to the metals, a keen observing physician will be able to find out the deep, sad expressions or the melancholic expressions of the aurum, or the strong grit of the iron, that is the ferrum, or the weak metal plumpum, a keenly observing physician will be able to identify the deep emotions deep within them. It will not be expressed at all. Just like the minerals, the metals also would not express anything. But then on deep probing, they are very, very cooperative to the doctor, and you will be able to find out what it is. So that will be with the heavy metals. Now here for this uterine bleeding, I have done a small research upon the animal kingdom. So my concentration or my most of the cases would be tackled with the Ophidia group, and one of the medicines, one of the patients who have taught me a lot of things about Ophidia 10 years back was named as one baby. I don't want to give her the full proof of her. So this lady, she had come to me with a climactic bleeding. She was around 55 years old. She was stout and obese, and she would be always giving up with a nicely worn sari and all. She would be coming up. That means she is presenting herself. She is not wearing a very dull colored this thing, that thing and all. She will be always very nicely wearing a sari and all, just like our Usha Udut or any other brightly colored lady. She will be coming up, so that we know that she wants to present herself. She wants to be brilliant in my chamber, and she is very capable. She is holding a high position in one of the schools. She is working as a non-teaching staff there, but then she is equivalent to the principal there. That much amount of capability she has got. She came with terrible bleeding disorder, too much of bleeding, too much of loss of blood. I could not understand what this case was all about. So at that time, whenever I gave her any medicine, that medicine won't work. The next month again the bleeding comes, or in between the menorrhagia comes in, and there will be heavy bleeding again. So I was wondering like what this case would be. When I give her a medicine, she knows a little bit of homeopathy all by herself, and then she will say, "Doctor, I took your medicine, but it did not help me. So I took calcarea carb in between, and that helped me a little." And then again the bleeding started and all. Of course, calcarea carb also has not worked. But then in between, she does self-medication. Even in spite of my medicine, in spite of coming to my chamber and collecting my medicine, she takes some other medicines all by herself. Why did she do that? That means she is not a straightforward medicine. If at all the medicines are not working, she should have that there are different kinds of persons. This is one example of one constitution which shows that it is not a straightforward person. It's a cunning person. It is a manipulative person and snubbing person. Like she is making me down. She is putting me down. That doctor, your medicine did not help. And I took a medicine and it worked for a while. Of course, after that, it did not even a cure, but that she doesn't want to highlight. She wants to highlight that my medicine did not work. So this is a kind of a jealousy attitude or a competitive attitude. She wants to prove that sitting in the patient seat, she is better than the doctor, and she knows few homeopathic medicines as well. So I understood that this is not a straightforward medicine at all at that time, 10 years back, okay? I was not well versed with Ophidia and all at that time. So, in order to cut short her dialogues, I got hold of the number of this hard copies, regarding her blood test or the uterine scans and all which she has taken. No, enormous amount of all those epic file is there. I got hold of her file so that I can hide my face into the file, or I can at least quickly brush off her bad remarks. She never gave me that. With the force I am pulling it towards myself, she is pulling it away from me. That means she is having the full control, not me. So again, I understood that she is a dominating remedy. She wants to dominate me. But then on the slide, she is not dominating me on the face. She is rather putting up a very comfortable, calm, and very smiling face. She is not shouting at me. She, when a third person comes and watches the situation, everything is calm inside my clinic. But then I can understand the competition. That she is not even giving me the papers, so that the doctor should see what is wrong in her scan report and then only prescribe. That thing also she is not giving. Only when she gives, I have to collect it. Till then I have to wait and I have to hear all her bad remarks and snubbing remarks about myself and put myself down and all that. I worked upon this. What is this? This is contemptuousness. This is hard feelings upon the inferior. So we all know that there are 4 important remedies in this rubric. One is lycopodium, one is lachesis, one is platina, and the other one is veratrum album. So she is not an overt platina because platina is always superior. She does not have to compete upon a small piece of paper and all with me. So if platina is already ruled out, and I thought that she could be lycopodium. She said that calcarea carb has worked for a little bit. So sulfur calcarea, then followed by lycopodium. So I asked her whether you are a hot patient or chilly patient. I found out that she is a hot patient, of course. There are chances for lycopodium. Practically speaking, we all have to rule out lycopodium. We generally take this point to rule out lycopodium, that lycopodium desires warm food and drink. So I asked that question. And then she said, no, I like all the cold food and drink also. Of course, in the psychotic phase, even a lycopodium can go behind the lime juice, etc., etc. But then at that time, okay, I just left off lycopodium. If it is not platina, veratrum, and lyco, then the remaining thing is lachesis. Then I asked her the characteristics of ophidia. Do you have any tight intolerance around the neck? Then she said, oh my God, it will total me like hell. It is suffocating. It is choking. I just cannot bear even the Mangal Sutra when I am lying down. So that much expression came out suddenly. Then I understood that this is ophidia. This is lachesis. I gave her lachesis 200 single dose, and from that time onwards, it made a miraculous change in her whole appearance. How? The next time when she comes, the bleeding is all perfectly normal, and she is getting her regular menses, and she has not attained menopause yet. At least she got her regular menses every month for 3 days, and there is no heavy flow, etc. She can go to her school, workplace, and all comfortably without any fear in her mind. And what? The constitution itself is changed. There is no snubbing at all. There is no competition with me. And that jealousy remarks or any kind of snubbing or nothing is there. The normal politeness is there between the doctor and the patient. So first of all, I could strike a rapport with her after giving lachesis 200. So after giving the constitutional remedy, generally we students, when we were students, we had a question whether it will change the constitution as a whole. Not as a whole, but then it can definitely make changes, good changes in the patient. There are bad things and good things, of course, in a patient. But then the bad things will reduce and the good things will be highlighted. The patient will become much more milder, calmer, and of herself. Like she will not be attacking others or she will not be showing her irritation to others. So her tolerance levels will be much, much better after taking the genetic constitutional syndrome. With this, we will know that the GCS works. How fast? Rapidly. Rapid, gentle, and permanent is our motto. That is in aphorism 2. Our father, Samuel Hahnemann, has written that the rapidity of our homeopathic medicines can be seen when the physician is able to give the right medicine. So this medicine taught me a lot of things that is about ophidia. Number one, lachesis. Whenever we talk about ophidia, the first remedy that is coming to our mind is lachesis. But then what about the other ophirias then? There is Crotalus oidus, there is Crotalus cascavella, there is Naja, there is Bothrops, there is Vipera, then there is Centuris condortrix, and there is Elaps corallinus. So all those things are not for prescription, all those things are only for the academics. No, all these things also can be seen in our day-to-day practice, not in 1 or 2 numbers, in hundreds of numbers. Any other person sitting next to you can be an Elaps, can be Centuris. Huh? This happens. Yes, I have been seeing. Once I started understanding the real ophidia, I started seeing thousands of ophidia cases in my clinic. That is the reason why I wanted to share the ophidia thing through the uterine bleedings or through the gynecological cases which I have completely cured. So let me come, after finishing this lachesis, let me come to Crotalus. Here there is a lady, her name is Shanti, and we have got an image also of hers. I shall give you the number of the image, Dr. Manohara. The number is 0022 JPG, Dr. Manohara, if you are available.
Yes, madam.
So this lady is a sub-judge actually. So that means she is holding a very high position. And
can you repeat the number?
0022. She should be more than 58%. She looks very young. Yes,
Ma'am,
this
can you
is the
see
lady.
the?
Yes, yes, doctor. It is very clear. It is clear. So
Okay.
this, yeah. So this lady, how does she look like? She looks very beautiful. She looks young for her age. Look at her makeup. Look at her color sense. Look at her dress code, how neatly she is dressed now according to her profession. She has dressed up. And look at her hair. She has got long hair, very long hair she has got, almost up to her thighs, that much of length of hair. She maintains. She maintains her hair. She maintains her skin. And look at the slight blush over her cheeks. That and look at her eyeshadow as well as the eyeliner, and look at her bindi. All these things are very, very important for a homeopathic physician, a keen observing physician. What I see, mind will be perceiving, no? What mind perceive, only eyes can see. So with this structure, you will be able to identify that this is an ophidia. Now to tackle what kind of an ophidia she is. Of course, the same question, are you a hot patient or a chilly patient? Now, how do we tackle that? Many patients will say that in the summer I am feeling very hot and in the winter I am feeling very chilly. So that is a very, very psychotic answer. So we have to for the juniors I am telling this, you have to ask for the intolerance. Which climate is unbearable to you? Then again they can tell you the same psychotic answers. I switch off the AC like that and all they will tell. Then you have to ask it, what temperature do you use the AC? I'm audible now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So at what temperature do you put on? Do you switch on the AC? Then they will say that I want very cool temperature, doctor. So I will keep the AC at 18 degrees or at 20 degrees and with no cover. What does that show? It is a hot patient for sure. And if it is a chilly patient, they will say, of course, doctor, I put the AC in 28 degrees or in 30 degrees and that too only for half an hour. After that, I will not be able to bear the chill. This is what they say. So then you can understand that with the AC also, in Chennai climate and all, they will definitely want the AC. But how much AC is the question? With that, you will be able to find out the thermals of the patient. So Crotalus horridus, again, it is a hot patient. And this lady, how she has dressed up, very nicely, neatly worn sari and all that according to the position of her job. But then at home, what dress do you wear? She is at the, my God, or I admired her. See, you cannot ask directly this question to a patient. It would be very, very bad if you ask it on their face. So you have to ask it in a very psychotic manner. On the slide, you have to ask. Like a CBI, you have to find out many things. So I admired her. See, madam, you are very beautiful. You look very young. How do you maintain your skin and hair and all these matching stuffs? You are at this age also. Come on, very good. Like that I said. And then she said, yeah, doctor, after reaching home itself, I will be removing all these things and I will be free. So it shows that she is unable to wear any of these earrings or the matching things and all. And then I will be wearing the very homely dress only, and I want full aeration. So that showed the typical ophidia. And I had given her Crotalus horridus 200 single dose, and with that, her tremendous bleeding stopped. So I was wondering whether the bleeding would come back again at another phase of time. The next month, she was a very ardent believer. She became a fan of homeopathy after this. And she said that, doctor, never I had a bleeding after Crotalus horridus. That means, did I attain menopause? Yes, she attained menopause after a single dose of Crotalus horridus. So that also was an eye-opener for me. Oh, so single dose of Crotalus horridus can put a climacteric lady of 58 years into complete stoppage of menses. Till date, I have got update from her. This is some 8 years back. And her daughter is still coming here, and I have got full update from this lady. So that so I can tell you with full confidence that the lady is completely fine. And another lady, another lady from the IIT campus here in Chennai. She is a central school teacher there. She was also having the same climacteric bleeding. She was having mild uterine fibroids as well, and the thickness of the endometrium is very more than the usual. It is somewhere around 12 centimeters. Sometimes it is 14 centimeters and all that. I have a pic of hers also here. I shall show you the pic and then we'll have the comparison. Doctor, if you don't mind, the number is 0023.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yes, doctor. Yes, sir. So this lady, this is the typical, which I would love to say that this is the typical picture of Crotalus viridis. You can have this as a stamp of Crotalus viridis in your mind, so that you can have a comparison of all the Crotalus viridis patients with this particular lady. Her name is Maithili, and let the pic comes. She was also a hot patient with tight intolerance, and look at her hair. The hair will be very wavy and it will be tied in a very loose knot. They cannot bear tightness of any sort, be it around the neck or around the chest or around the waist or around the hair. Yes, doctor, I can see the picture. And look at her bindi. So it is a very big bindi. It is not a small one anyway. It is a big bindi, comparatively a bigger one. And there are black marks. There are black marks around her eyes, around her cheeks, and in the neck, in the back of the neck, as well as in her hands. She has got black discoloration around the forehead. No, upon the lateral parts of the forehead, uh, you can appreciate the blackness. All these things. This is the typical picture of Crotalus viridis. So you can keep a stamp of this lady in your mind. The bindi size, the ornament size, the blackness, the hemorrhage, the heavy clots and profuse bleeding, and what? The tight intolerance, the loosely knot hair. Again and again, I'm telling you the same ophidia symptoms, only to batter in your bang off into your head, doctors. So once you see the patient itself, with the second with the second minute, you will be able to write down a prescription. That accurate it is. Look at her neck, so much of black patches. And do you think that with Crotalus, the black patches will get removed? Yes, very much yes. And what about if the patient is having other lesser accessory symptoms like any diabetes or hypertension and all that? There are chances, no, for ophidia. There can be BP, there can be thyroid, there can be high blood pressure. Yes, all those things also come from gradually according to the Hering's law. The lactasis patient, I forgot to tell you one thing. After giving lactasis, the entire the behavior changed for a better one. Plus, she got the Hering's law, that is left-sided knee joint pain she got. That is a connective tissue layer. And then the next, she got gastric palpitations and heartburns kind of thing she got. She's perfectly all right now. Her entire family, now I am their family physician, favorite family physician now, proudly let me say. So we get to see Hering's law in our prescription after giving the right medicine. And how rapidly our medicine effects. From the very next month, they start saying that everything is totally different, doctor. Now my chums are not at all a problem. The clots are very much lesser. If they have pains, the pains are also very much lesser. And now this lady is only having one symptom, that is her joint pains. The knee joint pain is there. Of course, it is the Hering's law. And now the knee joint pain has gone down to her ankle joint. Of course, it is the above downwards reduction of the symptoms. And the next thing will be her black marks to get rid of. Now she is very conscious about her black marks. It will slowly, gradually, it will completely go off. Then there were many other patients also. They all have the proper exact look like this lady. Our idol of Crotalus viridis with the big bindi. That is and then all the other things which is very common for Crotalus, which is very common for ophidia. All the ophidia features plus a very big round bindi or a gobi bindi, that will be of Crotalus viridis. Very simple tips I am giving you, doctor. You can check this again and again in your clinic and then tell me the failures so that I can also improve myself and then make more pakka corrections of my presentations. Then, so do you wait to prescribe Crotalus viridis? Do you wait for a bleeding patient to come? Crotalus cannot be given for any other diseases. Do you think so? No, Crotalus can be given for any damn disease, not only for the uterine bleeding. But mind you, you will be getting the history of heavy flow. So there are other patients who have taught me. The patients are teaching us daily. Every case is different and every case teaches us something new. So the uh, for other diseases of Crotalus, for varicose veins, which side? For lactosis, of course, it will be on the left side, and for Crotalus, it will be on the right side. And for this varicose veins, how do you prescribe upon Crotalus? By looking into the varicose veins, will you be able to see whether this is Crotalus or lactosis or what? No. By seeing the general Ophidia characters, how the patient walks in, and what is the kind of attire they have worn, what is the color of the, what is the whether they have kept their hair loose or tight, and what is the texture of the hair. Is it a wavy hair? Yes, it is wavy. Yes, they have kept their hair very loose knot. And you ask about the tightness around the neck, they say, of course, doctor, it is throttling and suffocating, we cannot bear. Then you know that this is Ophidia. Just ask for whether it is hot patient or chilly patient and which side it is, and then you hit the remedy. If it is left side, it is lactosis, right side, it is Crotalus. And in how many days do you expect a cure or an improvement for the varicose veins? The very next repetition, the very next visit of the patient is completely changed, all for the good. And then the patient says, doctor, I have showed you the other day, a big bulge of a big tortuosity of the varicose vein. It is not to be seen now. So in less than 30 days, a cure is effected for varicose veins. That much is the effect of our Materia Medica. Then, so for not only for the bleeding disorders, so it can be for varicose veins where there is no bleeding, where there is the bleeding has not yet happened or the vein has not yet burst. There also you can give Crotalus and all this Ophidia. And for the blackness, as I said, no, if the patient is presenting with the blackness, there is blackness all over the face suddenly. The entire face is black. Here I am going to show a pic where the entire face is black. The case number is, doctor, it is 0018.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. This was a case who came to Tambaram clinic. The lady is a nurse, very capable lady, very positive lady, very quick lady, very sharp and very, yes, this is the lady. To the point, snubbing patient means they will find out something to snub at you. Just like a snake, no, they will give you a biting every time they come, but not after the right medicine. Can you appreciate the blackness around the blackness at her forehead now? At her forehead and at the lateral, towards the ear, the lateral part of the cheek towards the ear, and then below her lips, around the chin. Her face was actually completely dark. It was completely dark. Now, after giving her Crotalus horridus, according to our judgment, she has improved. Now, there is lot of fair color on her face. The blackness is only around the margins. Doctor, if you can please take 0016, that is again her picture, her profile picture, her sideways picture. In that, you will be able to much more appreciate the remaining blackness. Yes. Can you see her forehead? And can you see the side of the cheek? So she has improved from her nose, from the center part, from her nose, from under the eyes. See how the under the eyes and all will be black, you know. There is not a speck of blackness under her eyes. And just above the eyebrow, there is a fair color coming up. The left, the only parts left now are the periphery of her face. So this has happened within 1 month's time again, and that too by prescribing Crotalus horridus. I told you about the snubbing. I shall give you a few examples of the snubbing, how these patients will say, doctor, I came 2-3 times to you. You were not there, or you were late on that day. I had to wait for 2-3 hours in your chamber. How much time you are taking for for every patient? And sometimes they can tell, I called to your office, doctor. 2-3 times I called, nobody picked up the phone. This will be the way they will be snubbing at you. And mind you, don't worry, after you give them the Ophidia, the right Ophidia remedy, all the snubbing will be completely gone, and you immediately is promoted as the family doctor, and they will be bringing up hundreds of patients. Just beware that all the other patients are, whether they are Ophidia or not. Try to find out the Ophidia link in them, and then you will be able to beat it in 1 month. Yes. So that is about the blackness. And here I have to share a case of a dentist doctor who presented to myself with palmoplantar psoriasis. Both her hands and both her palms as well as the soles were completely torn off. They are desquamating like hell. And there are so many cuts and bruises in both her palms and the soles completely. Every finger of hers is cut and there is bloody lines. Of course, there is no profuse bleeding. Of course, it is a palmoplantar psoriasis. So there are blade-like cuts are there, very painful cuts. So this lady came to me and she presented herself as a very positive, very vibrant, very meticulous lady. She gave me the picture of a metal. She wakes up in the morning by 4 a.m. and then she finishes off her cooking, etc. And then she goes for her morning walk and then she does her table tennis. And in the evening she comes back and she goes to her the dentistry place and she sees the patient. She does everything very efficiently. She is very quick. She's I don't know what to say about her. She is such a meticulous lady. So I thought that she could be, she looks like a very strong person and she can be or I gave Aurum and nothing happened. And I was wondering what this could be. Every time she would come and bombard upon me. She is a very nice lady. She did not snub me at all. So I was thinking like where she is getting this much of energy, right from 4 a.m. till 11 p.m. in the night. And she is balancing everything so efficient lady. I was in awe with her. And then she is very graceful also to see. I was wondering what this remedy could be. I gave her a drug remedy, Belladonna. Bella, beautiful lady. So it did not affect at all, doctors. Then I understood that no, this is so quick remedy. She is faster than me. She is that very efficient. That means it is her quickness and it is her ability to change from this person to that person because she is always surrounded by a lot of servant maids. And then at her dentistry place, she has got many assistants. With everyone, she is so very versatile in her language and in her behavior. And what about the language of Ophidia? Yes, she is an Ophidia. I gave her Crotalus horridus again. And what happened? Why I gave her Crotalus horridus? Why do you think, doctors? The first remedy, what comes to us when you say about Ophidia is lactasis. And the first symptom that comes to our mind is the extrovertedness of lactasis and the loquacity. What kind of loquacity is that? The patient jumps from one story to another and the patient will be narrating like anything, all the unwanted things also, and you will be fed up, and that is the kind of loquacity of lactasis. That loquacity is missing here in the Crotalus. The Crotalus will be rather taciturn. They will be like a metal, no? They will not be, of course, they can be expressive. This lady is an expressive lady. But there can be inexpressive ladies as well. But then there, the other features will be very prominent and the snubbing will be there. Definitely a keen observing physician will be able to, and a sensitive physician will be able to catch hold of that snubbing and then catch hold of the snake also by the tail, okay? Head down. So what happened? Here I gave her Crotalus horridus and the magic started. There was above downwards improvement of all her cracks and she developed a Herring's law, that is, she developed urticaria all over the body. So in order to reach this Crotalus, I had to fight a lot with my materia medica. What is she? What is she? So there are different presentations of the Crotalus. Because Crotalus will not be as loquacious as lactasis, but then the snubbing will be more for Crotalus. Lactasis will be eloquent and talking nicely and all that. Of course, eloquent is the word because the words will be very heavy. Their vocabulary will be they have got maximum number of words with her. And then their accent will be a foreign language. Even young girls who are coming to our clinic, no, they will be dressed up like a foreign girl, of course, whether they are dressed up or what, foreign girl or Indian girl, whatever, but then their accent will be attracting us or we will be wonderstruck, like how they get all these words, from where this vocabulary comes in. And that kind of an accent of a foreigner, just like a foreigner. So this can be either veratrum or lactasis. Of course, or lactasis or Crotalus or any Ophidia. So how to identify whether it is varicose or ophidia? Now you all are by heart about that. Just ask about the tightness around the neck. So here, so this is the way. This is one deceitful way where a protalus can present in the form of a metal. Okay. So that so there she was not having any bleeding history. Of course, she had heavy bleeding before, but then her presenting complaint was never a bleeding from the uterus. It was only palmoplantar psoriasis. So what I try to say is not only for the uterine bleedings, totalis or lacritis or any ophidia can be prescribed for any other disease. You need not wait for a uterine bleeding patient to come in to give any ophidia. You can give ophidia for varicose veins or for joint pains or for cervical spondylitis or for palmoplantar psoriasis or the hypermelanotic patches, etc. And this lady, the dentist lady, how I came to Crotalus was that in the evenings she used to spend time at a dancing school and she used to dance Kathak. She was learning Kathak dance. So then only it occurred to me that it could be an ophidia because also all ophidias are dancers. Most of the ophidias are dancers. They love dance and then they have that grace, the real grace for the dance. This lady, once when she was removing the makeup after the dance function she had, she suddenly noticed a big swelling, an egg-sized swelling in her right side of the neck. It was the thyroid. Actually, there was bleeding from the thyroid gland. So it was a hemorrhagic thyroid gland. So they were panicked, and then the next day, she immediately took a photograph of that and sent me. This happened recently. I repeated Protalus Colitis 200. Why, doctors? The thyroid gland is affected, of course. But then what is the presentation? It is not an inflammation. It is a bleeding directly. I can see the reddishness there. And which side? It is the right side. Then the patient is already an ophidia. Then what medicine to give? Protalus Colitis 200 single dose. And how much time it took? Rapid, gentle, again, without any injection or without any damping, with single powder dose of Protalus Colitis. Within 24 hours, there is no swelling. The patient again clicked a photo and said, "Doctor, now there is no swelling." This is the curt sentence, no, of Crotalus. "Doctor, everything is fine. Thank you." This will be the remarks, Crotalus. So now I have to talk about elapse. Elapse again has taught me many things. Now I have to tell you about a lady, a younger lady. She is 38 years old. And every time her chums had been hell for her. Right from her menarche, she was having dysmenorrhea, spasmodic membranous dysmenorrhea, and every elders in the family used to console her by saying that after marriage all these things will go off. And after marriage nothing happened. The pain only got worsened. And then they consoled her saying that after delivery the pains will be much better. And after delivery it got worse. Now she is in the worst scenario where she is passing clots and clots, many clots, big clots. And she is, I don't know what to say, the biggest size of the pads and all she has to use. And she will explain to me the whole thing, like how much bleeding is there, it is unimaginable. And how much tiredness it causes the patient. And added to that, the severe pains also. How much pain, she will even faint with the pain. And the husband will have to rush from the office to carry her to the hospital, and she has to undergo a painkiller injection every month, 2-3 times. Every month, 2-3 painkiller tablets also as well as injections. This was her hell-like situation. So what was the diagnosis? It was endometriosis. So in endometriosis, we know that this is the typical symptom. And here I don't have the pic of this particular patient, doctor. Anyway, so what happened? This patient, the moment she came to me, she sat in the chair and she put up a smile on her face and she started talking before I started talking. Before I started greeting, she started greeting me and talking. So we know that she is an extrovert. From the introvert extrovert book of Vijay Karsar, everything is very clear. You know whether the patient is taking the upper hand. Yes, the patient is taking the upper hand. let her take the upper hand. We only want to find out what the remedy is. So here the patient started narrating her entire symptom. In what language? Of course, in English, but that's fine. But in what English? It's an American kind of slang coming in and a very foreign language, of course. So what is the remedy? It can be one of the ophidias. I started looking into her hair. It is all shortly cut and there is no clip, there is no pin, there is no butterfly thing, nothing is there. Hair is set loose. Then I asked her whether you're a hot patient or a chilly patient, which climate is intolerable. She said, doctor, I cannot bear chilliness. So she said, chilly remedy. So lacus is ruled out, Crotalus horridus ruled out. The rest of the chilly remedies are coming up now. I asked her about the thirst. Of course, she said, I would love to have delicacies like buttermilk. And I asked her whether you love buttermilk. She said, no, doctor, I don't like buttermilk at all. Why I asked about buttermilk? Elapse has got a craving towards buttermilk. But then she said, no, I don't like buttermilk. Then what? Does that mean that it is not elapse? But then what do you like? She said, yes, I like lime juice. I like orange juice. I like any other juice, but I hate buttermilk. Does that matter to us? She likes delicacies. She likes sweet things. She likes ice cream. It is more like a phosphorus. We can immediately strike a rapport with the patient. Phosphorus patients will always, it is not clinging. Of course, clinging to the doctor is there and they will hold your hand or they will make friends with you as easily as that, as if you have met the patient since many years. So this is the kind of lady who is sitting in the front of me. So if it is a phosphorus kind of patient, give what? Elapse. So elapse 200 I gave her and I asked her one more characteristic symptom. Whether you love rain. Elapse has got both the extremes. They hate rains, but then they love storms. Both these things are there for elapse. So here the lady said, yes, doctor, I like to get myself drenched in rain. So I confirmed elapse. I gave elapse 200 and of course the rapid cure, the beautiful miraculous cure came up again. She said that the clots are much lesser, doctor, and the pains are much lesser. And the PMS, which used to be there since 1 week, since 1 week I would be tired in the bed and all that. My husband will have to cook for my kids. Nothing like that. There is no hell and all that. The chums are much more bearable and all that. And every month she is improving and improving. And this is the 4th month. She is happy. There is no breast pains. There is no headaches. There is no any kind of PMS. She is not yelling at anyone. She is more calm and composed. And the bleeding is just regular. It is not heavy, no clots, no pains, no painkillers, no hospitals, no injections. She is happy. So this is the greatest boon which we can do only with homeopathic remedy. With a single remedy, we are able to control the HPOA axis as well as we are able to take care of the endometrial layers and the chocolates. They just like that disappear and the patient is very happy and smiling and the chums are very regular and the patient is rather able to bear with all these things, or I won't say it is enjoyable, but then it comes which has to happen for the lady. For a female, it should not be a hell-like thing, no? It should be just like any other day. The patient should not be feeling about the bad things of the chums and all that. There is nothing like that now, thanks to elapse 200. Now, this
Madam,
elapse can 200 single dose, doctor. Now, again, what other domains, for what all other diseases we can give elapse? So, elapse is a very, very short remedy for acne of young girls, of teenage girls, and for otorrhea and for dandruff. All these things are comparatively lesser symptoms, but then with single dose, a heavy dandruff case has completely cured. I shall little bit narrate this case because you want to have the feel of elapse. There is a peculiar feel for this elapse. The elapse patient will be as sweet as phosphorus, with all her beautiful tubercular features. She will be taking you to another world. She will be narrating so nicely. She will be so beautiful. She will be having that long hair, beautiful hair. Eyes will be very nicely made and hair is also very nicely made, for the dandruff. I searched for the dandruff for this girl. She was a dancer. So how was her dandruff? From this end to that end and from this end to this end. The entire head is completely filled with heavy, thick. You are able to feel the hardness of the dandruff. It is not flakes. It is not powdery. It is not scar-like. It is just like, I would say, the mountain top. That kind of dandruff she was having the entire head. And from for the entire years, which you remember, she has got this kind of a bad time. Many doctors, including homeopaths, have which I know, which I respect them. They have all treated her. Many remedies like belladonna and badiaga and all were given to her. Nothing happened. And after she took me to a mesmerizing world. How did she take me to a mesmerizing world? She was narrating. I was asking her the questions, no? How are you? Tell me about your situations and all that, no? Like the typical homeopathic questions I was asking her. And then she was slowly, gently opening up herself and then talking to me about the bad vibes which she got from her office, how her manager, how her boss was trying to corner her, trying to not abuse, but then trying to put her down, extra, and how she was, and slowly, beautifully, just like a novel is read. No, that is the kind of the hypnotic environment, an enchanting feeling, the charm that the girl is taking me to. I don't know how much time I have spent with the girl, but then it took a while for me. Like, where am I going? Yeah, you're able to hear, no, doctor?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it vibrating a lot? Echo is there.
No, it is clear, madam.
Yeah, thank you, doctor. So this is the way an elapse can take you to another world. And here, of course, I had given her elapse. Why? I did not give elapse because I was taken to the mesmerizing world and how my brains would work. But then the brains of my junior doctor worked immediately. She immediately touched me and said, "Madam, this is elapse, no?" I said, "Yes, this is elapse." And then I asked her about the confirming questions immediately. She said, yes, she loves all these delicacies and all that, and then the rains and all. She said, of course, even without that, I would have given her relapse. Why? Because out of the ophidias, the otoria, the dandruff, and then the acne, the skin and the hair related things are for elapse. So I gave her elapse 200, and she's a lot better. She does not have that thing at all. She's very confident regarding her hair now. That thick, beautiful hair she got. No, I met her recently at Kalakshetra here in Chennai, and she came running to me. And what she will do? Of course, she will hug me. Why? She's a phosphorus kind of person. No, relax, very sweet and beautiful. And with a sweet smile, she explained to me, "Auntie, all my dandruff is now completely gone. You see my hair." Like that, she was talking to me, no, like chirping like a small bird. And I shall give you two picks of uh, remedies. Now you tell me the remedy. The number is, doctor, it is 0011. Double zero double one. No, doctor, 0011. Yes, yes. Can you just see? Look at her beautiful smile. Young girl, a teenage girl. Look at her cheeks. How much acne rosacea she is having. She has taken 1 dose of elapse. Can you just highlight that, doctor? This is the second time I'm seeing her. The first time pic is not there with me. So the remnants of the how much big bulb-like acne she had. And now this is the picture after relapse 200 single dose. And look at this is the typical picture of an relapse. So you can have this as a stamp for relapse. And one more pic, doctor. It is 0013 13 0013. Another picture. if you see the pictures, it will remain in your mind. Yes, this is another relapse. This is not acne. This is uterine fibroids. My God, she is very lean, thin, tubercular constitution, phosphorus-like, hair is set loose again, and she has got that beautiful smile, but she snubs a lot. She did not snub me, but then she got a bad fight with her husband right here. She had come to me for infertility. She is a newly married girl and she has got a fibroid the size of the uterus, 9 centimeter fibroid. For an unmarried girl, of course, now she is married since 6 months or so. She is married. So this might have come even before her marriage. The fibroid was there. Nobody knew. She is under treatment. But then she is responding with all her symptomatic symptoms are now gone with relapse. I just wanted to show this as another typical case of relapse. Now, one more picture of relapse, doctor. It is 0015. 0015. If you see many cases, many different phases of relapse, it will strike you, it will remain in your mind. That is the only reason why I want to share all this big stuff. This is another relapse whom I have treated for acne again. This is the second picture of after giving relapse 200. Again, you can see the little bit of marks on the cheeks, but then of course it was completely covered with acne. Lot of big bulb sized acne it was. So elapse can be given not only for uterine bleeding, it can be given for acne, for other skin ailments, for other otorrhea, for dandruff, as well as bleeding disorders like idiopathic thrombocytopenic purpura. Recently, some 2 months back, I had given a patient, this kind of a patient. Now you will be able to tell doctors. By seeing the patient itself, you will be able to say, this is relapse. That is the kind of confidence you will get after seeing this. No? A typical kind of picture. Three cases of relapse you already seen now. Another girl of this age, a teenage girl with lot of bleeding spots all over her body. All over her body is marked with red spots, purpura. And then as simple as that, we gave her relapse 200. And what do you expect? But we are afraid, no, this is not acne, this is not dandruff. So we want to hear from the patient. How soon you want to hear from the patient? After 24 hours, I want to hear from the patient. Why? Because it is bleeding all over the body. This is ITP. It is a diagnosed case. And then the blood cells are very less. So I asked, so they called me the next day itself and then said that, doctor, they gave me the pic also of the hands and of the legs. Everything is gone now, doctor. So within 24 hours, all the bleeding went away. So her mother was very afraid at that time. Doctor, how long will this take? With this homeopathic medicine, this is very risky. No, but I know there is no permanent solution in allopathy. That's the reason why I came to you. So the mother was very anxious. And mother said, doctor, within 24 hours, everything is gone completely. This was not affected even with the very harsh treatment of allopathy, you know. So that is the rapid, gentle treatment of homeopathy. So that is about relapse. Now, I want to take your attention to Synchris, another chapter of Ophidia. Beautiful chapter of Ophidia. How many Synchris do you expect to see in your clinics? Hundreds. In hundreds of numbers, you can see Synchris. On the road, you can see how a Synchris patient will be dressed up. When I chat at my home, I usually talk about all these things at my home itself. Now, anybody in my family or my immediate visitors will be able to say, see, is that an Ophidia? Or is it Synchris? Is it relapse? Like that. Every members of my family are thorough with all the Ophidias. I can confidently tell you. So, at least, doctors, with one glance of the patient sitting in front of you, you can reduce the searchlight to a narrow number of very good remedies in our materia medica, so that you will be able to effect the cure very rapidly, very gently also. Try this out, doctors, and then give me the feedback also. So how about Synchris? Again, the wavy hair. Doctors, I forgot to tell you one more hypnotic lady regarding the relapse. This I have to share with you. Her name is Deepa. She told herself that she is Dr. Deepa. Then I asked, Okay, doctor. What doctor are you? What are you practicing? I asked her as politely as I can. Then she said, I am a hypnotic healer. Who else can she be? Can she be a metal? Can she be a mineral? A hypnotic healer can be an Ophidia only 100%. And which Ophidia? Of course, the hair was let loose. And how her life history will be a hypnotic healer? Of course, she is a divorcee. There is no wonder why she is a divorcee, because she used to sit for hours and hours together doing the hypnotic healing with guys inside a closed room. How much the spouse tolerate all these things? Whenever the spouse pokes his nose into the room, she will say, the hypnotic healing is on the way. I am trying to assess the patient sitting in front of me. So this is the kind of a hissing sound, all this, not all the Ophidia, but in many of the Ophirias. I told you about their eloquence, I told you about their accent, I told you about the foreign accent, and now I'm giving you one more clue, one more tip, that is the hissing sound of Ophidia. This kind of an unnatural, something unnatural will be there in their voice. So she had this. Again, with this kind of a hissing sound, she will be slowly taking us into the hypnotism, and also into our past life regression and all that. They are very experts in that. So that is again what elapsed. She got completely healed. And of course, she is having extramarital relationships and all that. We don't want to talk about that now. Of course, this kind of patients will be having all those liberties. And mind you, that typically lacks Dr. Deepa. When I wanted to confirm about the rains, she said, Doctor, I love the storms, and I will immediately wear my boots and I will walk some 6 to 7 kilometers in the storm. That was her answer given to me. I was flabbergasted. So this is the way the patients can present to you. So now you know how much they love the rains. Of course, the other side of the coin is also there. There are certain elapsed patients who hate rains, but then they have the other features of elapse. With I hope with this presentation you will be able to click onto or you will be able to ask questions to the patients and find out where this elapse is hiding. Catch hold of the elapse by the tail, head down. Now coming to the next snake, that is Synchris. Again with all the full wavy hair, and then the dressing. How do they dress up themselves? They want to highlight themselves. In a party, you will be able to highlight a Synchris patient with one glance. In your clinic, the Synchris patient will be totally different from other patients. How? They will be dressing up in a very, 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 where their body lines will be very much highlighted. That is the kind of dressings they wear. Like a tight fitting dress, a correct fitting dress. And where okay, you don't want to take eyes away from that patient. Okay, if you are a gents doctor, then gone, you will not be able to focus upon the patient and talk. You will not be able to focus on their face. You will not be able to focus on anything. So what this patient is saying, the patient will be very polite. Synchris has got two side of cards. The first side is an ourself kind of picture. The patient will be very aristocratically dressed up, aristocratic presentation. They will be very chic in their body movements, and they will be, of course, handling a very high position. And their talks will be to the point, and they will not snub you that much. They will be very politely talking, and they will be like a hostess, like an air hostess, or like a TV show, like an RJ, a radio jockey, or a video jockey kind of a person. They will be talking to the point, and of course they will be eloquent, and they have all those good vocabularies, and then the heavy words and all they have. So by all these presentations, sometimes you can get deviated that this could be an ourself. When you look into their handwriting, the handwriting will be very neat, with 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 columns, with highlights, with numbers like marked as 1, 2, 3, and all that, and very neat presentation. So it can be like an ourself, but then with other features, it is a deceptive ourself. So you will be able to find out that this is a Sencris if you can find out RSALT features in an Ophidia background. Remember, doctors, RSALT features with an Ophidia background, you can 100% make sure that it is a Sencris. And what all conditions the Sencris can present to you? Very rarely bleeding disorders. Bleeding disorders are not the highlight of the Sencris what I have seen. It can be blackness. Here I would like to show you a picture. Yes. The pic number is Dr. 0021. 0021. A scleroderma case. It is half cured, so you will not be able to see much of it, but still I shall show you. Scleroderma means what, doctors? It will be little bit of black here and there and little bit of white here and there. It is otherwise known as the salt and pepper disorder. That means it will be salt, it will be pepper, it will be black, it will be white. It will be an ichthyosis kind of thing. The texture of the skin is like that of a snake. Can you highlight the palms, doctor? It is an above downwards beautiful cure. So the entire hand was a snake-like skin. Now in the palm, I think in the right palm, you are able to see a little bit of the snake texture, no, doctors? This was her entire skin. Can you believe me, doctor? She has come to me for her varicose vein as well as the left-sided knee joint pain. So I had given her Lactasis 200 in the beginning. She was fantastically cured and she got a hearing slough, that is a dry cough she got after Lactasis 200. So I thought that this is a completely cured case. But she came up with the other symptom. Doctor, can you do anything for this? Then I thought, why not Lactasis again? Lactasis should work. No. Lactasis never helped for this. It helped for the varicose vein. It helped for the left knee joint pain. It was a very, very, very severe knee joint pain. She was not able to walk. She was limping, but that went off now. Of course, we got the testimonial also, no? The dry cough we got. That means it is the hearing slough. And then, of course, it is a completely cured case. But then she came up with this symptom, which she already had. Can you do anything for this ugly skin? I feel very bad. I feel very sensitive to show my skin. No, I feel very embarrassed to show my skin to others. So she is this aged lady, no, this much age. Anyway, she is somewhere around 60s, early 60s. So she is very image conscious. She is with nicely picked up saree and all she has come. So I had given her Centris 200 single dose, and with that I was surprised by myself. Above downwards cure was there, and every time the lady comes, she will come with a bunch of bananas or with something, no? And then she will tell doctor, this is all reducing as I have taught her. Above downwards it is reducing, doctor, and now it is there only here. So how did I come to Sencris? Again, the loose hair. Did you see any loose hair here? She has tied up her hair, no? How did she tie? It is only with a butterfly pin she has tied up. That means it is a very loose knot. And she is chilly now. Previously, she was hot when I had given her Lactasis. Now, come doctors, after giving Lactasis, why did I switch over to another Ophidia? It is not a hard and fast rule at all. If you give one Ophidia, it can go into another Ophidia also. Sometimes it takes the help of another Ophidia to complete the whole case. If the case is very, very deep, Lactasis is a very, very superficial Ophidia, whereas Sencris is one of the deepest of the deepest. So if you want to go to the deepest of the cases, of course, this is upon the skin, but then this is not upon the ectoderm, doctors. It is a scleroderma. It is a kind of an autoimmune disease. It is a very deep disease indeed. Lactasis will not be able to go this deep. Lactasis is only a very, very superficial remedy. So I had given her this deep acting remedy, Sencris, with all the other characters where she will remove her mangalsutra while she is lying down and loses hair, etc. And she is still very conscious about her image. So that gave us the idea of the RSALT. I asked her about her fastidiousness. She said that she is kind of an OCD. She wants everything to be neat and tidy. So I fixed upon Sencris and I gave her that. So this is one side of the Sencris, doctors. The other side of the Sencris is the highly sensual syncrease. Very sexual it is. Very lustful it is. Of course, we talked about the way of dressing of syncrease. The typical town lady or the city lady, where they will want to highlight themselves. They will be very fair. I shall give you an example. And the patient will want to wear a dark colored dress, so that the fairness of their skin is the fairness of the flesh. I should use this terminology. Sorry. That is exposed, kind of exposed. It is not exposed, it is covered. But then they will be able to see inside out. Everything is so plain as that. Here one girl was sitting, her marriage is fixed. She was sitting outside with other patients in my waiting room. I can see her through the CCTV camera. I could see her. She was sitting with one leg upon the other. My God, she was wearing a very short dress. On top of that, she was sitting with one leg on top of the other. All guys and old mamas are all there sitting opposite to her, around her. She is not bothered. And her hair was set loose again. And she was wearing a sleeveless dress. It is a gown, a very small gown she was wearing. It was not a proper dress. It was a totally inappropriate dress to come out into a clinic, to visit a doctor. Of course, for the party, I don't mind. All the other girl doctors or the other young lady doctors and all will be now thinking that what right I have to comment about the dress of a girl. It is absolutely the freedom of the girl or the lady to wear any dress they like. Of course, doctors, I respect all your feelings, but then I have to say this: there is something called proper and there is something like improper. Proper to the occasion is proper. If it is improper to the occasion, then gone. Of course, the constitution of the person is the cat is out of the box. Once you see your dressing, with your dressings, the other persons can judge you. What kind of a person you are? What are you trying to highlight? With the branded cooling glass and the watch and with the branded other dressings of a Veratram, everybody will be able to point out that he is a Veratram. How? Because he is totally different from others. He is getting highlighted in a crowd. We will be able to pinpoint a Veratram by the blue glasses, etc. No? Everyone is thorough with that. Similarly, a syncrease lady, we will be able, sorry to say this, we will be able to judge this syncrease lady in a crowd just by having one glance of her dress. Now coming to the point, doctors, this happens only in the city, no? What? There are no syncrease patients in a village. The village ladies will definitely not dress up in two pieces or in half piece of dress and all that. No. They will be wearing always their natural dresses, their sari or whatever dresses they are wearing, no? Like mundu or something, dhoti or something like that. Then where can you find the syncrease? Of course, there also you can find syncrease. Even in a sari, the way of wearing a sari, my God, sari is the most decent dress and it can be at times the most indecent dress also. I shall give you the typical picture of a syncrease lady, an elderly lady who had come to me recently. She is a very not so educated lady. She is an elderly lady. With due respect, I'm telling you. She is very shy, very embarrassed. Why? She is embarrassed about her big bust. My God. She is crossed 65, but she has got very big bust. When the moment she came to our clinic itself, my assistants, doctors started peeping at me and I said, doctor, this is BB. BB is not Amitabh Bachchan or any big B or nothing like that, big boss or nothing like that. BB is the code language for us, among us, it is big bust. My God. So we kept quiet. We talked to her as naturally as possible. And then this lady, of course, she was not highlighting anything. She was wearing a sari. But then she said, doctor, I am having something on my lip. Okay. What is there on your lip? I have got a vitiligo on my lip. Okay. And then, my God, she started holding the lip. Why does she want to hold the lip? She can just tell, okay, I am having a lip. Okay, finished. Matter is over. But for syncrease, the matter is not over. Why? One, they are very, very fastidious. They want to see to it that the doctor has understood this very, very properly. So for that, They will come closer to us. They will hold the lip with their hands in all possible languages where all the sexuality is aroused or all the sexuality is opened. That is the kind of the presentation it is. We will be fed up. Oh, when this narration is going to end, my God. We will say, okay, Amma, I understood. Okay, okay, dear, I understood. I understood. But then she will never let loose her lips. Again, she will hold the lip in another angle and then again come closer and again. She is highlighting the lips, the lips, the lips. Lips is a very good part, but lips has got a very an ugly part also. Everyone knows that. My God, that is one thing about this poor lady, not a young lady and all that. And she said, Doctor, I got this problem also of big bust. What can I do for that? Or do you have anything for that? Very, very embarrassed. I cannot go out. She is almost in tears. Okay. What medicine can we give? Before giving Centris, we just want to have one question. Are you chilly or hot? She said, I am very chilly. I cannot bear AC. I cannot bear cold or this thing that. Okay, we had given her Centris 200. I don't know whether the size of the bust will come down or what. But this is the effect of the hormones, doctors. Because the estrogen, even after attaining menopause, the estrogen is on the higher side. That is why the feminine features are highlighted like this. So even in villages, by the look of by the wear of the saree and all, you will be able to identify all sorts of porphyrias in the village also. So Sencris is a very good remedy for this scleroderma, for salt and pepper, for this BB, and where just like Arsal's picture it has, and it has got the other side also, the sexual picture also. Hair will be let loose. Tightness, my God, when you ask about the tightness in Sencris, what the patient will say? The other patients will say, Atherophilias will say tightness, throttling, no mangal suit, suffocating, etc. But what a Sencris patient will say? They will say, Doctor, I want to tell you a secret. This should be very, very private. Okay, doctor, if you don't mind. I cannot wear any dress in the night. When I'm sleeping, I will sleep alone. I will switch on the AC, of course, in a very minor temperature. I will take a thick chadar, a thick bed sheet. I will cover up myself and dress. No, no dress. Or at least they will say, no inners. They will want to highlight that. They will come closer to us. It is not lasciviousness. They are shameful. It is not the shamelessness of Hyoscyamus. They are very, very embarrassed. They don't want to talk about this. But then the homeopathic doctor is asking me about tightness, and I am a kind of an arsal also, no? I want to be very, very pakka about what I am talking to the doctor. So I have to reveal everything. There is no hiding with the doctor. So I have to tell this to the doctor. So the patient will take the time and with full embarrassment, with full shame, the patient will be sharing very sadly this very, 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 very private thing. And they will be always having some problem with their private parts. I have seen another very, very educated lady at my Tambaram clinic. She was the wife of a police commissioner. She had got some problem with some vaginitis or something she had. And she could have told the exact symptoms. How many vaginitis patients we are seeing daily? We don't feel anything. We just prescribe the medicine and then we look into the next patient. But this is not like that, my God. They will want to highlight that and they will want to explain the parts. You know, that is Sencris. They will want to, some or the other, I told you about the eloquence. I told you about the foreign accent. I told you about the heavy vocabulary. Then I told you about the sweet talks of the phosphorus, the elax. Then the Sencris, the sexual words will be coming up, like masturbation, or like breasts, or like some menses. Again and again and again, it will be coming up in the narration. The sexual words will be highlighted again and again in the narration. You can easily pick up a Sencris patient. And Sencris is very deep acting also. Then I have got many Sencris patients, and of course, Sencris patient can come up with bleeding disorders also with all these symptoms. You know, doctor. Then, of course, for endometriosis, Sencris is a very good patient. But doctors, let me ask you a question. when the patient is coming for something else, not anything relating with the gynecological problem. So if it is a lady, then you naturally ask, no, at what age your menses stopped or what happened, how was your periods and all. To an elderly lady, you will be asking about her past history. Then she will be saying, doctor, I don't have the uterus only. I did hysterectomy. I did TH with VSO, that is total hysterectomy with bilateral salpingo-oophorytis. So we will get this history in the past. So the past history is also important because the patient has crossed all those ages and the patient has submitted her parts to the allopathic doctor. Sadly, if we had seen that patient at that live age, at that young age, we could have saved a uterus, we could have saved a salpinx, we could have saved a chocolate cyst and ovary. All those things we could have saved. But then after mutilating only we are getting the patient. So the patient is gone more and more deeper into other autoimmune layers and the patient is coming now with a scleroderma. So when you ask to the patient about the past history, you are damn sure that the patient would have done a hysterectomy. In 99% cases, you have the hysterectomy doctors. Check it and tell me doctors. Or the patient will give you a history of heavy bleeding. Then you can be sure about the hemorrhagic tendency of the ophidia. Of course, there is NAJA, which I have tried only for since it is a neurotoxic, where there is no hemorrhagic history for NAJA. I have given for sciatica and such kind of things only for NAJA and for rheumatoid arthritis, not for bleeding disorders. Absolutely not for bleeding disorders. Whereas Synchris, Crotalus cascavella, Elaps, Horridus, all these things are for bleeding disorders also. If there is no bleeding disorder, in the past they would have had. Please check that out. Then coming to Crotalus cascavella. I got the time is going to end. So Crotalus cascavella, there is nothing much to tell. It is all the ophidia features plus the dream world. What are the dreams? Dreams of temples, dreams of dead people, dreams of God, dreams of dead relatives and all that. So the dreams will be highlighted in Crotalus. Of course, all the ophidia has got all these dreams. Even Elaps has got dreams of dead bodies and all that. But it is the highlight of Crotalus cascavella about all these dreams. And it is also a very wonderful remedy, a deep acting remedy. And Crotalus cascavella, the typical picture will be, they will be highly religious. Of all the ophidias, cascavella is the most religious, and they will be putting one bindi and upper one bindi, niche one bindi, and on top of that another bindi, and on top of that another bindi, one kumkum, one vibhuti, all sorts of Kashi pottu, Rameshwaram pottu, or Bhagavati pottu, all these things will be there in a line for this Crotalus cascavella. So, doctor,
Yes, ma'am.
it is only 5 minutes to go. Shall I conclude?
We can, shall we ask them to come up with any questions if they have?
What, doctor?
If they have any questions, participants.
Please, please, doctor. I would love to.
Madam, how it will, the snakes will present in male patients?
How the snakes will present in?
Male patients.
Males. Yes, doctor. It will be like, I don't want to name. It will be like a sadhu, a sannyasi with beard, with very big rudraksha chain, and with a band around their head. Typical Sadguru appearance will be there. No, very sorry to say this. I don't know whether Sadguru is a snake or anything, but I don't want to comment the least upon that. But then that will be the typical picture of a sannyas who is coming to you. That is my experience about male snakes. That will be the lactasis of the snakes. I have never seen any Crotalus horridus or cascavella or elaps or any other things upon gens. And I have seen Naja in gens. Naja will be, the typical presentation is like an attribute. The patient is inexpressive. The patient will have neurological complaints like sciatica and all that. very cooperative patients and very silent kind of people like Natrams. That is my experience with Lactasis and Naja among males, doctor.
Thank you. Any other questions, please, before we close?
So I given for varicose veins, doctor. I don't have any pure experience with Vipera, doctor. And with Bothrox, I have seen another doctor who has prescribed Bothrox for a CVA, cerebrovascular accident, and the patient immediately recovered. Almost immediately, the patient got back his sensorium after giving Bothrox by another senior doctor. Vipera, I have tried with the varicose ulcers, where the patient has got severe burning pains and on hanging down, and the patient wants to raise the legs, but then not much effect, doctor. I did not cure any single case with Vipera so far, doctors.
Ma'am, anything about PCOD, ma'am? Anything about PCOD
Anything
cases?
about PCOD. The same methodology you can use for PCOD, doctors. For PCOD, there are two sides. One is PCOD without hirsutism, and the another one is PCOD with hirsutism. Nice that you have come up with this, doctor. Quickly, can we have a look upon what is her name? Yes, 0020. It is a PCOD case with head to foot hair, doctors, not only upon the upper chin, upper lip, not only upon the chin also. It is her entire face covered with the whiskers and all that, and beard also, and her hands, legs, everywhere, her chest area, her abdomen, everywhere she has got hair growth, doctors. Very nice that you have come up with this question. So PCOD of the first type is easier to cure, but usually this PCOD and all comes up with this is the girl. PCOD usually comes up with infertility case. So I thought that I will not confuse that with this topic today. So with infertility, when you cure the PCOD, of course the patient gets conceived. This was the girl who I had given Sencris for this lady, young girl, and she went away to London to her on-site, and she in January 2019, doctors, and I had given her Sencris 200. She started getting her menstrual flow regularly every month. That was the highlight. So I thought that all this hirsutism will remain like that. I never thought that the hirsutism can be cured. And she went to on-site. No, I was happy. So I don't want to see this patient again. So she has taken some 6 months medicines with her, all PL only, doctors. Only once I give the medicine, then after 6 months only I repeat if anything pops up. If a hearing straw pops up, I never bother. But if it is a highlight, then of course I have to address that, and then I repeat the medicine if necessary. Or sometimes I switch over from Lactasis to Sencris or something if the case is much more deeper, doctors. So in this case, PL placebo she has taken for 6 months and went to on-site. And this January 2020, she had came back. And then I have taken this picture. I could not believe she has worn a sleeveless. The typical Sencris has come up now. Every time she used to come before, she was wearing full sleeve dress only because she was having hair like men. So she cannot expose all this hair. That's why she used to wear full sleeves. Now she is wearing a sleeveless. How dare. Look at her loose hair. Look at her sweet face. This was not the lady who went to on-site, you know. She was not very beautiful and all that. Now she is very beautiful, just like a Sencris. No? You can see the typical image of the baby there. Huh? So PCOD can be treated in the same way, doctors. Doctor, did I miss any? Yes. Did I miss any photographs? 008, doctor, if you have time.
Yeah.
008. Now the class is over. It is only the seeing the photographs and commenting. That's all. Yes, look at her hands, how black it is. Now, 009, doctor. Everybody has seen her hands, no? How black they are. Yes, 009. Yeah, this is the picture. See her, how it is getting cured from one side to the other side, doctors. The entire back was as black as this. Now the left side of the back is cured, and it is the cure is encouraging the right side. And can you show the Crotalus horridus single dose? She was a diabetic also. Her sugar values are completely normal now. She is under SL since 1 year, doctor. And 0010, doctor, her face. Yes, this is her face. Her face was as dark as her hand and the back was. Now her face is brilliantly fair. It was very, very dark. Little bit of dark is still there around the forehead and all that, but now it is very, as if she has put makeup now, doctor. I should highlight it. Then there is another case, 0014, doctor. Oops, battery theory fellow. Yes, doctor. Yes, doctor. This is scleroderma. This is typical scleroderma. And now her face, no, from the cheeks and all, it is getting better. She is a young girl of 18 years old, very sadly suffering from hell a lot of scleroderma. She cannot smile. She cannot she cannot do the yawning. She cannot open her mouth. Just to show her lip area, doctor. Her lips are very short. She cannot open her mouth widely. It is full darkness. The entire body is dark, and there is bleeding spots from her gums and teeth, and her menstruation is also very heavy. See, when you see this way, you can understand after giving Crotalus how her cheeks are getting better. Look at her hands, very hide-bound skin, hide-bound. That is the scleroderma. You cannot pinch her skin. It is an autoimmune disorder. But then with Crotalus, she is showing this much improvement. So, doctors, whether I have completed it fully or not, I'm not sure, but then I don't bother. I think that you all might have understood the prescription points of Ophidia. Yes. Now, after seeing the patient in front of you, I'm sure that you will be able to strike a resemblance with one of the Ophidias of what I have. Thank you, doctor. Of what I have narrated here. Now, what from this session. I think this will be very, very useful, very, very practical. No theory part at all. Just by seeing the patient, not only in your clinic, outside on your road, the next door neighbor, everybody, you should be able to classify.
Yes, madam. On behalf of all the participants, I thank you, Dr. Manjula, for your very detailed and very practical picture of Ophidia, and that too from your rich clinical practice. And I'm sure that your simple, humble, and very highly energetic presentation has inspired all of us. And in our group, like most of the participants were female, but all these days we are getting only male speakers. And in spite of me and Vijay Krishna trying very hard, we are very fortunate to have you, madam. Thank you very much. And maybe if possible, we would like to hear from you about PCOD treatment.
Of course, doctor.
Practitioners
yeah. Much more professionally, maybe with the PPT and all that.
Yes, madam.
Thank you so much, doctors, for the encouragement.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, doctor.